A little more than 2 years ago, I made the decision to cut a hole in the roof of our perfectly good 2016 Sprinter van in order to install a Poptop. And I'd like to share the reasons why, the considerations that I went through, how I balanced the cons with the pros, and why I ultimately feel that the pros outweigh the cons for the way that me and my family travel, and then also share some additional considerations, some changes that we've had to make along the way, some modifications that we're planning. And that way, if you are planning or considering installing a Poptop into your van, then this video will be of use to you. When we first started building the camper van 6 years ago, there was enough space for the four of us as I had the van built then. I had a dedicated bed for my older daughter. My youngest was still an infant. And so the van layout that we had then was sufficient. But as my children grew rapidly bigger, then I realized that I needed space, and I needed space pretty quickly. And in addition to that, I also wanted to have more headspace for myself. So I investigated and explored different options. I did consider whether it made sense to trade the van in on a mid or a high roof. And for all the reasons that I shared in my low roof video, I had no desire to swap out my low roof Sprinter. This is what I prefer to drive, and this is the platform that I want to work from. So with that in mind, wanting to add space for the kids to sleep, and then also being able to create headspace for myself with a lot of the activities that we did, I decided that a Poptop was going to make the most sense. Once I made that decision, I found that there were two primary options on the market. There was the rectangular version, so companies like Sportsmobile, RB Components, they build and upfit using the rectangular Poptop style where both the rear and the back rise as one, and you have that nice rectangular prism. I was open to that, but really what I wanted to do was maintain the low profile of the roof. And so I found the company GTRV, and they were advertising the lowest profile Poptop installation on the market. And so that was the triangular version. So if you've seen the Volkswagen camper vans, the Vanagon, the Westfalia, the Syncro, that iconic triangular shaped Poptop, also very popular with the, I think Alum Cab manufactures one for the Defender. Again, that triangular prism Poptop shape. That's what GTRV offered. So from the get-go, my decision-making wasn't focused on rectangle versus triangle. I do recognize that the rectangle version creates more space inside the van, which is very convenient. But for me, it was about, when closed, what is that minimum effective dose where when closed would have the lowest profile, but when opened would be enough to be able to give us more sleeping space for the kids and more headroom for me when we're parked and doing activities. So starting with the cons, and I'm going to focus on three cons. The first being price, the second being lack of stealth, and then the third being the potential of leaks. So the first, price tag. I did a quick Google before this, and it looks like with labor, you're looking at anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 to have a Poptop installed, depending on which version you go with, which manufacturer, who installs it. If you ask me down in the comments below how much it costs, I'm probably going to tell you just go Google it, or to use your preferred flavor of generative AI. I'm not a manufacturer. I don't upfit vans for a living, so I don't know. You'd have to reach out to whomever you're interested in working with to get a current quote. Second being stealth, right? The second con is that if you install something that looks like a tent on the top of your roof and then drive into the middle of a city center, deploy that thing, you have your lights on, it's just thin fabric. I don't see how you'd be able to get away with stealth camping in the middle of a city with a pop top. I guess you could get away with it if wherever you're camping doesn't care, and then I would argue that that's not stealth camping. But regardless, if you choose to install a pop top, then it really won't fit the style of stealth camping. As I've explained in several videos past, I have no real desire to do stealth camping. It just doesn't fit for the way that we travel, the places that we're going to. So for me, that's a very low con. And then the third is the potential of water intrusion. Anytime that you cut a hole in through the sheet metal of your vehicle, you're going to increase the potential of leaks and water intrusion. Whether that's your rooftop fan, whether that's solar pass-throughs, even on the Sprinters, a known issue is the gasket that goes around the antenna usually fails after approximately 5 or 6 years, from what I understand, and then you start getting water intrusion from that point down into the into the cabin, into the ceiling. So just know that if you're going to cut a hole in through your sheet metal, just be prepared to know how to mitigate it. So there's a semi-temporary fix, which is using butyl tape with high effectiveness in order to, once isolating where a leak is coming from, you can use butyl tape to patch it up. And then I'm also investigating, one for insulation, improved insulation, but two also just for waterproofing the entire roof, because that's how I think and that's how I build, is there's a application where you can do a thick waterproofing barrier. I don't know the name of the product. I just know the places here in town, down in San Marcos, who do it. It's not bed liner. It's a more flexible material, but it's something that I'm exploring right now in order to, again, one, waterproof the roof entirely and just not have it be a thing I have to worry about. And then two, because it's a little bit thicker and the material that it's made out of, it actually adds a little bit of insulation, which here in Texas, I will take any insulation that I can get. So obviously for us, the pros outweighed the cons. And the three pros that I'm going to focus on are: one, additional sleeping space; two, additional standing height if you have a low roof; and then three, the ability to maintain, given those two other things, a low roof profile. So first off, whether you have a Sprinter and you have a high roof or a low roof, or if you have a Transit and you have the additional option of a mid roof, then adding in a pop top with a sleeper bunk gives you the ability to add an extra sleeping space without taking away much volume from the interior of the van. For us, this is where our children sleep. My wife and I have the bed down here in the main body of the vehicle. And so we're able to very comfortably sleep 4 people. Maybe you're a solo builder and you're just going to be traveling by yourself and you need the volume of the interior of your vehicle for larger things. Maybe you're going to be bringing a motorcycle with you, or bicycles, or maybe you've got tools. Considering a pop top is going to give you additional sleeping space without taking away much of the interior volume. Number 2 is being able to add additional headspace. For me, when we're going out, we're going skiing, or we're doing other activities, having the ability to move around the vehicle with additional headroom makes a world of difference. Or even when I was fabricating, when I was moving around, installing the electrical system, building these cabinets, having the additional space to move around fully upright at 5'8" really does make a world of difference. And I'm telling you now, if you go into the comments and say, "But Mike, you could have just gotten a high roof," you can scream into the wind all that you want, but I love having a low roof. And I'm very happy with my purchase. And so, which gets to point number 3. I'm able to maintain my low roof profile. And I'll give you a little bit of a teaser that at the end of the year, this will become more apparent of why a low roof van makes so much sense for me and where we're planning to travel and how we're planning to travel. And if you'd like to, in the comments down below, presume or, and if you know the answer, and I've talked to you about it before, please don't give it away down in the comments. But if you don't, then please feel free to share down below why you think it might make more sense that I stick with a low roof fan. But for us, having the pop top has been nothing but a game changer. The first camping trip that we did was out to Big Bend State Park. My children were, I believe, 8 and 3 at the time, and we were able to have them stay up there, open up the front window, look out at the stars. It was a beautiful night, and it was just such an amazing memory. So for me, the way that we travel, choosing to do the Poptop, again, not interested in doing the stealth camp life, then this has been a game changer and it's been very effective for us. So a few considerations if you do choose to add a Poptop to your van. The first being, at least with the GTRV version, and I'm pretty sure across the board, we no longer have our factory roof rails. And so that valley, that gully where the factory roof rails sit all the way from the back of the van to the front of the van is now covered with the outside edges of the Poptop. So I really want to install a rooftop rack and a roof rack, and I'm going to need to get really crafty with it, and I'll have to use the exposed metal that I still have access to custom fabricate my own roof rack. From a roof rack, I can add lights, I can add a deployable 270-degree awning that will cover the sliding door, the rear doors where our kitchen pulls out of. So for me, that's something that I really want to add, but I know it's going to be a bit of a process and it's going to be custom fabricated. Backland Expedition Gear up in Canada looks like they have a system where their Poptop sits on top, the roof rack sits on top of the Poptop. But I do know that for many Poptops on the market, you have to be careful how much weight you add to the top of it. So I do have roof rails on that, the roof that is the Poptop that's deployable, but I also know that I have a weight limit. So I can get away with a couple of solar panels, but it serves me no purpose for trying to add the deployable awning. And then I also want to add cameras, 4 cameras, 1 on each side, and I'd like to add some more lighting. And so trying to figure that out with the roof rails and the Poptop just doesn't really make sense for my use case. So that's consideration number 1. Consideration number 2 is that the Poptop, unless you're able to find a hard-sided one, I know they make hard-sided rooftop tents. I haven't seen a hard-sided Poptop, but ours is a canvas fabric, and which, lets light through. There's stitching, which could potentially wear and be a point where water can start seeping through. It's not soundproof. We're exploring. I've cut and made my own silver foam barrier that I can wrap around the Poptop. It adds insulation, light blocking, it even wicks or sheds some rain and water, which is really nice. But I'd like to find something a little bit more permanent, especially for when we're camping in the winter, because it's uninsulated. So that's consideration number 2. I won't really say that that's a pro or a con, because maybe you're using it in a space where you like having access to the light, you want to feel more like you're in nature, in which case it'd be a pro. But if you're camping in the middle of winter and you want more insulation, or you're somebody who's very sensitive to light, then it could be a con. So again, it's more of a consideration and less of a pro or a con. If you were to ask me if I regret cutting a hole and installing a Poptop into the roof of the Sprinter, no, not at all. It was one of the major changes and one of the major components of the evolution of the van from a cargo van into the camper van that it is today, that just unlocked so many things for us, right? I remember, like I said earlier in the video, the first camping trip that we were able to do was out to Big Bend State Park, and having the kids up there and giving them their own space, and them being able to feel like we were more in the campsite and a little bit less in a cabin was really cool. Having the headspace of being able to stand up and move around when we went skiing, as we've gone skiing, and as I've evolved the van from version 2 to whatever version I'm on now, being able to move around inside the van and place components has been huge. So for me and my purposes, I love having the Poptop, and still I love having my low roof. So I suspect that somebody down in the comments is going to tell me that I should have just gotten a high roof, and cool, thanks for the info. I think I've explained thoroughly about why I chose a low roof and why I'm so happy with my low roof. An additional bonus pro that I will share is that as a family of 4, when we're traveling, we used to have a 2-bunk system that would set up in the cab bunk, and it was very comfortable, but it would take time to deploy. And then if we were camping and if we were set up, it would really take away those front 2 seats of being able to swivel them, use them as additional places to sit when we're eating, things of that nature. And so adding the Poptop means that, one, we can pull into a campsite later in the evening, throw up the Poptop, the kids crawl up there, straight to bed. And then also for me, when I'm driving around, if the kids are at an after-school activity, then I can park the van, put the Poptop up. I have additional airflow. I can open up the windows, let the cross breeze come through, and really just set up my own little mobile cabin for wherever I am. And it's very comfortable. You know, I'll swivel the seat around, I'll throw the Poptop up, turn the rooftop fan on, grab a book, and just relax in my own little mobile cabin while, you know, they're at dance or gymnastics or what have you. So for me, for the way that we've built the van, adding the Poptop has been phenomenal. So thank you for watching. If you are considering installing a Poptop, I hope that this has been helpful. I really hope that you're not playing a drinking game at home where you take a shot every time I say the word Poptop, in which case, please call 911. But with that, thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to have more of a direct conversation with me, if you'd like to see more of the behind the scenes, then please consider subscribing to my Patreon, which I've linked down below. But with that, thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and I will see you in the next video.